Hi friends, it's Lila. I'm super excited to share this recipe with you all. We're gonna be cooking a lentil soup, but before we start with our recipe, let's start in prayer. Thank you, Lord, for this space, for allowing me to honor you with the big and small things in my life, for your calling to serve others while serving you, and the opportunity, Lord, to cook and share this meal with friends. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Okay, so we're gonna start chopping these veggies. This is my very first meal with you all. Super excited. This is a staple in our home. I cook it once a week. It's pretty quick. The children love it. I love it because I can implement it with my fitness meals. Let's keep on chopping this away. So I have some garlic. I'm gonna now peel these onions to give some good flavors in it. We're gonna be adding some carrots. Ooh, that sounds so good. Yay. We have celery, and this one is gonna be for the end of our meal to put a little bit more flavor in it. Okay, so I don't usually put a lot of pepper because I don't like it to be too overwhelming. Pepper is delicious, but it can really overtake the flavor of the soup. So I try to keep it on the mellow side because of the children. Okay, now we're gonna have these potatoes ready. I usually put about 1 or 2 potatoes, depending on the size. Give some thickness to the soup. You give some bouillon. Okay, so we're gonna start chopping our veggies. We're gonna saute the onions, and then we're gonna throw some veggies in it. Okay, I usually cut these ones in small squares, so the children don't complain that they're too chunky, and they can soften up when the lentil soup is being pressure cooked. I hope I don't start crying in here. Okay, I'm gonna chop this little to bring the flavors out. You know, these meals reminds me so much of my childhood. My mom used to cook it every week, once a week as well, like I do in here. And that day, for those who doesn't know, we've been vegan, plant-based for the past 10 years. But ironically enough, she will just feed us lentils with rice and veggies, and she will say that meat no was necessary with that dish because lentil had a lot of protein. I never understood. I'm like, where is the piece of meat? But as I grew older and I learned more about it, today I just laugh about myself. Like, here I am eating lentils without meat. Okay, so that's the onion. Now we're gonna go with the celery. It doesn't really matter how big or small you like it. I try to chop it as small as possible because of the children. Like I say, I don't want anybody whining or complaining, oh, the veggies are too big, I don't like this. It's very optional. It's however you will like. If you got like a lot of texture in your food, you can chop it big. If you're not too thrilled about the texture, then get it smaller. Okay, we're getting ready to put this in the pot. We're gonna saute the onions a little bit by itself. And then we're gonna put the rest in a second. I'm gonna sprinkle some salt. Just lower the heat. Okay. Once it gets a little translucent, a little brownish, we put the rest of the veggies that we just chopped, the celery and the carrots, and then we're gonna let it saute in there for 3 minutes or so to release those flavors. It's already smelling so good. The onion always calls my name. Like, it's food time, it gets me hungry. Okay, so we're gonna be chopping the butternut squash and the potatoes. I usually try to put butternut squash in everything just for the nutrients of it. You don't really have to do it if you are not a fan of butternut squash, but we are used to it and we love it. It gives some thickness to the soup as well. And also, you know, try to put pack it with nutrients, as many things as I can put in one pot. I have to cook very fast some days because the children, you know, are not cooperating that day or because we have some activity going on. So I try to be as efficient as possible in the kitchen, and I use the pressure cooker a lot. So you will see a lot of my recipes being done in the pressure cooker. If you're not a fan of the pressure cooker, that's okay. It's only gonna take a little bit longer to cook the beans or the meal, but once you get a hand on it, it's pretty convenient. Let's cut this up. We're gonna cut it in some cubes as well. Again, as big or as small as you like it. Usually what I try to do is just leave it kind of biggish. So at the end of the cooking, I just mash it all up so it gives that nice creamy texture to it. And then with the potatoes, the same thing. It's all however you like the thickness of your potatoes. If you're not a fan of potatoes, that's fine. You don't have to put potatoes. This recipe can be made with all of these add-ons or without it. Okay, so let's put this now that our veggies are nice and soft. We're gonna put this in the pot. We're gonna let it simmer in there. We're gonna add a splash of water and let it simmer in there for a little bit so that potato can start releasing some of the creaminess and the butternut is squashed as well. It's looking promising already. Okay, so before we put the splash of water to let it get nice and creamy, we're gonna add some garlic, a must in our kitchen. It gives a nice flavor. It has a lot of properties health-wise. Okay, let's get ready to put it in the pot. Stir it a little bit, add a little bit of heat so the garlic can blend in nicely. So I usually put a little bit of water once everything is sauteed, and I let the potato release that creaminess that I was talking about. That usually take about 5 minutes or so. If I'm in a rush, I honestly just pour the lentils and the water and just close the pot. I'm good to go, but for the sake of the creaminess, we're gonna do the longer version. So while we wait for the potatoes and the butternut squash to soften up a little bit before we close the pot, I'm gonna make a little sofrito. We call it ahogado in Colombia, and it's basically some tomatoes and onions to enhance, and in this case, pepper to enhance the flavor of the dish. You don't have to do it if you're not into that part or if it's too much. If you're in a rush, sometimes I don't make it. Sometimes I do, but if you do make it, definitely changes the flavor in it. So we're gonna make some Colombian ahogado. I'm ready to cook the tomatoes. I usually take the middle part because for some reason, my 7-year-old daughter always finds these hotter pieces and she complains about it. So I try to be mindful of that, but you don't necessarily need to take the center of the tomato. So we have our onions in here, okay, and then we're gonna chop it. I love how this knife sounds when I'm chopping and cutting through. It's like it's getting the job well done, or I'm getting the job well done. Who is it? Okay, now to the onions. For our Colombian ahogado, like our sofrito, we always use green onions, at least from the part I'm from my small town, and how my mom teach me how to cook it. But if you're not a fan or you kind of find green onions, you can always use regular white onions, purple onions, any kind of onion will do in here. We're gonna check on our pot soon to see how it's simmering and to pour the lentils so we can close that pressure cooker and let it do its job. Okay, so they're ready for the spices. I am pretty basic. I use a little bit of cumin, just a tiny dash, because I don't want the cumin to overtake in there. And then we put some onion powder, garlic. Even though we already put some fresh garlic, this gives a different profile of the taste of the garlic when it's dry, so it complements one another very nicely. And then some pepper. It's getting hot in here. I'm sweating. Maybe it's because it's my first video. I don't know. But we're doing our best. We can do this. Together we can eat more plants. Yeah? So now that that's ready in there, you can always adjust the seasoning at the end of the soup. We're gonna pour the whole thing. The lentils is your choice. Today I'm using the sprouted ones. I really like this brand. They're not really paying me to say that, but I love the brand. It's pretty quick and it has a blend of different lentils. So it gives a nice color, it gives a nice texture. So we're gonna put it all together and then we're gonna add some water. You can use, like I say, green lentils. You can use black lentils, the little tiny French lentils. I'll say like about 6 cups of water we'll need. You can find these lentils at any store, any supermarket. This is specifically one. You can get it from Whole Foods, from Publix. I always get organic because for some reason, besides that I like organic, the regular conventional lentils doesn't have the same content of protein. Again, because we're plant-based, I try to be mindful of how much protein intake the children have and me as well. So organic has a higher content. Okay, For this whole bag, it took us 6 cups of water. I like it on the watery side, especially when you pressure cook it or you cook it, it's gonna get a little puffy, it's gonna absorb a lot of water because remember the legumes were dehydrated dry, so once they absorb all of the water, it's gonna drink it, part of it. So a little bit of more salt, because these ones are sprouted. I put the salt before it starts like pressure cooking. If they're not, if they're regular green lentils, wait for the salt to add it to the end. What I find is like if I add the salt at the beginning, the lentils doesn't soften up, or some of them become harsh and the other ones super smushy. So they're no like even. Okay, so that's that. So we're gonna get ready to saute this ogao. The pressure cooker, I would say once it start releasing that pressure, the sound is about 3-4 minutes is how long I will leave it, and it will be ready to either let the air escape by itself, or you can manually try to do it, but it's pretty quick. So let's saute these veggies first. I'm gonna be leaving the ingredients and a more detailed step by step in the description down below with all of the details on how much to put in and the ingredients that we're using today for this lentil soup. Okay, so we are going to saute these tomatoes, onions and pepper. So I should say that the traditional one, the one that my mom taught me, doesn't have peppers. I don't know if it's because she didn't like it or because it wasn't part of the recipe, but I really like the flavor that the peppers give to the ogao. I'm gonna put a little bit more garlic in here, and we're gonna put salt. Like I said, you can always adjust it at the end of the cooking. And then we're gonna crack some pepper. Just gonna release the juices, blend nice together in there. You don't want to overcook it too much, but you don't want to leave it too raw either. You want to give the opportunity for the veggies to release the flavor.
Hey baby, what smells so good?
What do you think I'm making?
Ah, my favorite.
Really, baby? Really?
Well,
really?
Basically, my favorite because you cook it almost every day because it's nutritious and delicious.
So you don't know what it is then?
Lentils.
Lentil soup, yeah.
Lentil soup. There you
We're
go.
making what, baby, in here?
Okay, let me see if my Spanish is gonna be okay.
My Colombian husband.
Ogao. Ogao.
Okay.
That's the tomatoes.
Finally,
and the
after 10
onions.
years, he learned how to speak Spanish. He finally catch it.
Okay, but I am Dr. Bahamas. I'm not Dr. Colombia.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. That's very well. Yeah. Okay, so it's almost pressure cooking. I can hear the little sss, but once it releases the full force, shh, you're gonna hear the big noise. And that's when you wanna leave it like 3 minutes or so, and then turn it off, move the pot out of the heat, and then let the pot either release the pressure by itself or just manually do it if you're not too scared of it. Okay, so now the 3 minutes have passed. We're gonna turn off the heat. I'm gonna move it out of the hot space so the pressure cooker can decompress. And then we're gonna add our ogao at the end, mix it all up, and it'll be ready to eat. Okay, friends, we're gonna get ready to open this pot. The pressure has been released. That means our beans are ready, our lentils. See, so we have the nice chunky parts that I usually smash on the side of the pot to give more creaminess to it. And so the kids don't complain either. Like I was telling you all earlier, some of them are particular about the texture of the food, but I want them to eat all of those nutrients. The more the better when it comes to these plants that we eat. Okay, now that I mashed that butternut squash, we're gonna add our special Colombian touch. My Colombian accent coming out. We're gonna add it, we're gonna mix it, we're gonna taste it, we're gonna eat it. It's gonna be good, good, good. We let all those flavors blend in. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt just to make sure that all those flavors pop out. And a little bit of pepper. Like I said before, you can always adjust it to your like. If you don't like it on the salty side, if you like it peppery, you can always put it to your like. ¿Listo?
Listo.
Let's try it out. Let's see how it tastes. Dale, mi amor. Dig in. Buen provecho.
Delicious.
Reminds me of my mom.
I'm gonna have another scoop.
With chunk of potato. El cilantro with aguacate.
This is a major staple in our house, packed with nutrients, lots of high fiber, low cholesterol, good fats in the avocado, and the beans are packed with protein. And there's another secret ingredient, the squash adds to longevity.
Thank you for cooking with me. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me. If you guys like it, don't forget to subscribe so you can tag along. We have more sizzling recipes coming up our way, more faith, encouragement. If you guys are interested in adapting this dish to your plant-based fitness meals, I'm gonna show you in the next video how to pack it up with protein, how to pack it up with some nice volume, and put some healthy carbohydrates in it. Until next time, friends, keep sharing love and serving well. See you.